going to seem proud to be American, but shockingly Lee Greenwood beat me too. Nice to be here. Didn't the Mets used to have a team here?
Tied.
Triple A. All right. It's the majors today. We got Mitt Romney here. I was just backstage in the holding room. I had the worst cup of coffee I've ever had in my life. I said to the lady, "What's with this coffee? It's so old and bitter." She said, "That's just Joe being Joe." Somewhere back there is a nice lady who made the coffee. That was a little joke. I just wanted to put it in the Biden. Coffee was great. Biden never shuts up. It's just occasionally you have to put him like a falcon so you can get some sleep. Listen, I didn't vote for President Obama 4 years ago, but I want my president to do well, you know? I was coming out of the blocks. I want my country to work. I want the head guy to make it work. It just didn't work. That's all that's happened over 4 years. It didn't work out. And I'm starting to see people notice that it didn't work out. I have friends who talk about voting for Obama in much the same way they tell me the story about how they took an Ambien and woke up naked outside. Where they say, "What?" And you go, "You voted for him." You go, "Really?" I took it, I went to bed, and I woke up naked at the fridge eating bus, and I just went and voted for him right after that. So I hold no rancor towards the man. It just doesn't seem to be working out to me. Now this man here, listen, in a culture where we throw the word great around so capriciously, how many bad movies have you seen? How many bad TV reality shows have you seen where they say it's great, it's great, it's great? Isn't it ironic that we've come back to a good man? I mean, this is such an essentially good man. When I saw that, the RNC, and I saw that couple, the Oprahowskis, I don't know if you remember them, they weren't in prime time. They should have been, because they're the very fiber of this country. They come out and talk about a young boy, their son, who was passing away, and this man, you know, his church, I don't know much about the church, but for God's sakes, if the church has a man like this going out and meeting with a young boy, and the boy says he wants to put his will together, and he takes the time to help the kid settle his will, a 13-year-old, well then this is an eminently decent man in a world that oftentimes doesn't have. Listen, if we're going to start demonizing men like Mitt Romney, as our current political climate seem to dictate, we have fallen through some cosmic wormhole that I'm not sure we can recover from. This is a good man. I happen to think that the American dream is now in the hands of daydreamers. I want somebody to quit doodling in the margins. I want to move it into the center of the page. I want column A, I want column B, and I want somebody who can balance the two. I also like the fact that I don't sense he's actively seeking credit for that. He's one of those guys who seems to like to fix things. Listen, history will ascribe greatness to men. Anybody who seeks history, seeks greatness in their own times is missing the point. You put together a solid body of work and let the trail follow you to greatness. I think Romney gets off on fixing things, and you know it needs fixed right now. Isn't it ironic that from the first time we saw this man, and I remember the first time I started taking him really seriously is when he bailed out about as early as you can last time he ran for president. Listen, I didn't agree with everything John McCain said, but he had given us 5 years of his life in a rat hole that he could have split after 2 years. And that is a great man. It was his turn. And I think Mitt Romney got out a month earlier than he had to. When he did that at that convention down in Washington, D.C., I say, good for you. You know it's not your time right now. He stepped back. I thought it was classy. The thing you hear about Mitt Romney all the time is that he looks presidential. Well, here's what they don't tell you. that has little, if anything, to do with his physical appearance and absolutely everything to do with how he has led his life. And I will be voting for him on the 6th. And you know, when I heard that thing about him working with the Massachusetts state legislature, and they were 87% Democrat, didn't that fall so nicely on your ears? Haven't we gotten so rancorous, so polarized? Even last night when they were talking about AK-47s, that he was able to broker something. Folks, we're about as split up as we've ever been. And, you know, that is the pervasive feeling to me. It has become two Hatfields and McCoys. Look, I wish it wasn't even Democrats and Republicans, all that. All I know is we got the best deal on the planet Earth here, obviously, by far. And we are missing the point when we polarize ourselves to this degree. Now, I know how polarized it's gotten in the last 4 years. I'm not saying that's all on the president, for God's sakes. It must be a brutal job. But some of it, the buck does stop there. I look at Romney and I think, you know, if for no other reason than we quit fighting at each other's throats every day of our life, come together and realize that we're all blessed to live in the greatest country in the history of the planet. This next cat how I should introduce him. He just said, just say, here's the gov. Here's the gov.